get anybody within the range, but if we do move one guy closer, we will get. Let's just go ahead and highlight that there. And how am I going to do this? I have no idea. So, and that is how everything is, mostly everything is reset. Let's just go ahead and let's do this. Turn number 2. Do and underline it. Okay, now let's see if anybody is going to get a bit of a vantage point on these next couple turns. It's usually to decide whether or not this is going to be a quick game or a longer game. Considering I forgot that the ranges are of the enemy AI are fairly long, this may end up being shorter than we realize. So let's go ahead and spin to see which phase we land on. And as I recall, I do believe you can roll the end phase. Let's see. Skills when the turn sequence is determined by drawing phase counters from the cup, which determines what actions take place. When the end phase counter is drawn, the turn is over and all counters are returned to the cup. So yes, you can actually roll the end phase and end the turn early. So we rolled up the AI shoot phase. And let's go ahead and mark that. That down, and let's check to see if anyone is within range now. We may have somebody in range, so I don't believe so because we checked last turn. That's correct, and nobody is still within range. So unfortunately, we do have a couple civilians that may be within range, and remember that the AI does want to take out as many civilians as possible. So, since nobody is within range for them to fire at, we're going to go ahead. We are going to target this one and that one. And remember, these are civilians, so they have nothing. So it's more of a 50-50 chance. And we need to check to see if the player loses to an unlucky die roll yet again. So, once again, I am green and the AI is yellow. Whoever is highest wins. And if it's tie goes to defender. I believe I said that last time. Anyways, so that's one civilian saved. And that's another civilian saved. So both civilians are safe. And we don't lose any points this round. Okay. Well, let's go ahead and draw for our next phase. I forgot that last round, and it's the end of phase again, and everything is reset. So we do not get to make any control rolls. So that does not benefit us at all. So I do not remember if there is a turn limit. I don't believe there is. It doesn't look like it, so we're just going to go ahead and keep going on. So let's go ahead and draw another phase. Another AI shoot phase, and we need to see if any civilians. Well, let's go ahead. We can't fire on civilians all the time, so let's go ahead and see. Let's use the movement to determine what they shoot at, since nobody is within range. And let's roll a d6. 3, for objective or nearest target, whichever is closer. So that does mean the closest civilian has to try and make a saving throw. And once again, Pi goes to defense. So, no civilians were harmed during this turn, so let's go ahead and draw again. Another reroll. Okay, and I have a sort of system for when I do shorthand for this, but I reinvent it every single game. So we get the player move phase. And hopefully we'll get within range. And to be actually able to fire on something. And remember, we decided to move this back up to 2. So we're going to go ahead and check to see if anybody is within range whenever we move forward. Most of these guys have only 16, which is the second one up here. Second one up here, and I spent the rest of the points on higher damage that would probably get through their armor. That's what I spent points on instead of giving people different things. So if we move, go ahead and move closer, we still won't get anybody within the range, but if we do move one guy closer, we will get within range. So we're going to go ahead and move slightly away to get that one guy in within range. 1 and 2. Let's go ahead and change his position here. Let's see, where was he? He was right here. 1 and 2. And 1 and 2. And 1 and 2. And 1 and 2. So once again, I'm rolling that you can't see much through this window because I think there's something in there already, but you can't see this through this one and through this little alleyway here. And let's check to see if anybody is within range. They aren't within range yet. They could be within range in the next movement phase. And remember that this guy really wants to remove the commander, but he kind of can't because he still has the a black box. So he's limited by what he can do right now. But if somebody gets it away from the commander, well, then he can have a heyday. So let's go ahead and move him over. He does see the commander, so let's go ahead and move him to a more advantageous spot. 1, 2, and let's go ahead and move our heavy hitter closer to the enemy, where he belongs. And let's go ahead and move him 1 and 2. Okay, that's player movement phase. Nice. Hopefully, next player shoot phase will be within range. We can check that, I suppose. Well, if anybody does have to make their way into this area, they will be within range, and we may have a uh, player shootout or something during firefight phase if it's pooled. Okay, that's player movement phase, and let's go ahead and roll another turn. We've gone through 2 phases now. And it is a firefight phase. Once again, nobody is within range. And let's check to see if any civilians are put in harm's way. And there's that eraser. I was looking for that one. And that is a nearest target. And let's see how long this civilian's not going to run. And unfortunately, that civilian is taken out of the game. That's another point lost. So I'll probably have to review this before the next session because you may rightfully be thinking, yeah, this is a bit it's a bit one-sided towards the AI, but I'm trying to give myself a bit more of a incentive to sort of move along at a little faster clip, so we don't keep losing and keep losing and keep losing. So maybe I'm not moving fast enough, is what I may be saying. Okay, so unfortunately, nobody on the player side has anything within range. So let's go ahead and mark another loss on the player counter. Let's just go with firefight. Player -1. Okay, so if that's one civilian every turn, but that's really only 10 turns. Which I guess it's kind of a turn counter. And I'm probably going to try to think of whether or not I'm going to allow civilians to move. Because people do move during chaos. So we'll go ahead and think about that and review that for next session. So let's go ahead and draw up our fourth turn, or fourth phase. We already have AI shoot, player move, and firefight. So if we get either of those, we have to reroll. I'm pretty sure I can reroll it before it stops. But there is AI move. So now the AI has to move at least within range of the player. So the best thing they can try to do is get away as quickly as they can, to cover as quickly as they can, because they really do want to get that data a disk transmitted, because that is their victory condition. So let's go ahead and see where we can move these guys to. I'll go ahead and move the, let's see, what is it called? The missile. Hover mouse missile. Right. That one in front of the firing hole to take a hit from the other guys. Even though they also have the longest range. One of the longer ranges, so we'll go ahead and move him closer into the view of the player forces. So we'll just move him 1, and again we'll move him 2. And remember, there is a visual corridor right here, and everybody is within range now if the AI happens to get to shoot again. Mostly within, nobody's within range. Except for more civilians, which is not good. So, let's go ahead and move this guy 1, and let's move him 1 over this way as best we can. That's another 24 spider legs. I do have somebody in range, and they can see them. Yep, that guy is in range. So that means that these guys can safely kind of move around, because enemies cover each other. 1 and 2 and 1 and 2, and since this guy has the data disk, he also needs to move. So he's going to just try to swing his way around into here. 1 and 2. So that also means that he has still no one in range except for the 2 highest ranges here. So that is the AI movement phase, and hopefully we could see some shooting here. But I'm afraid that we'll have to wait until next turn. So until next time, push all those buttons and follow and like and share and comment, and I will see you next time.